twisted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pants less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Welcome to kind of sad news. It is the last game of rugby for the year, the last game of anything for the year. Rugby season is over. The NRL, of course, finished. Rugby about to join it. And then we're out of things to cover. But it's all right. The content will still be coming through thick and fast. We've got some ideas for content to keep the channel active during the off season. I'll be starting a podcast style show that'll run through December and January, and then a couple of months we're back into it. Pre-season begins for NRL 2025, but in the short term we do have this one, the last game of the season, so I'm expecting both teams to give their absolute everything. Leave nothing out there on the paddock, because this is it. The last game of the year for both teams. Bodies will be put on the line. Everything will be left out there. And I'm anticipating Ireland to win. They'll be way too strong. I think what the Wallabies dished up last week was just disgraceful. I mean, credit where credit is due. Scotland played very, very well and didn't allow the Wallabies to get into the game. But still, the Wallabies were abysmal, even for the chances that they did have, the moments where they did get into the game and look like they might be able to mount something. They were awful. So they've got a lot of improving to do if they want to come up against the number 2 team in the world and have any success whatsoever. Ireland, of course, were number 1 not that long ago, but such is the way that the ranking system works. South Africa deserving to be number one, of course. Absolutely no question about that. James Lowe returns tonight. That'll be something to keep an eye on. I've got James Lowe, anytime try scorer. Knowlesy, ahoy there. They're just about to start the Anthems. Just starting the Anthems, and then they'll be all set to go. So James Lowe returning. I've got him anytime try scorer. The Island backline just didn't look as fluent without James Lowe there last weekend. And of course, a player that I've been particularly impressed with, that young fly half. The young Irish fly half, Prendergast, played extremely well in the times that I've seen him. So what can he do against Australia? Lolosio gets the nod again as starting fly half. I don't think he has really been that good, let's be honest. I mean, I try not to be harsh, but really, really lacking Lolosio. But I think that is Australian rugby's own fault. They mishandled him, something fierce. Threw him to the wolves, as they say. Way too young, way too early. Joseph Swalehi back, though his injury was not as severe as it looked at the time. It looked really bad last week when it happened. I mean, for Swalehi to immediately stay on the turf looked like it was really bad, but that'll be good for the Wallabies. I feel like last weekend they were against Scotland, they were playing to a Swalehi game plan without Swalehi there, which made no sense whatsoever. With him back, do they change it up and try something new? And I'm talking about the little kicks in over the top that they persisted with. For some reason, it was clear that it wasn't working, and they just persisted with it for the entire night. It was really frustrating to view just as a rugby fan. It didn't matter if you were going for the Wallabies or not. It was just frustrating as a rugby fan to see a team so bereft of ideas. When something is clearly not working, do something different. Common sense dictates that, but Lolosio was not able to change it up, and it wasn't just him either. There were another couple of players there. Tom Wright, I recall, did it at one time. So there were a couple of players there that were guilty of persisting with these little dinks in over the top of the Scottish defensive line, and they were back ready for it every single time. I've got to say that Wales are still winning the Anthems. There was nothing more passionate than a Welsh rendition of their national anthem. Ed Vogel, ahoy mate. Ed Vogel says, if we win, we'd be unstoppable. And if you score more points than the opposition, we'll win. I've got Ireland in this 14.5 line, actually. 14.5 points head start. The bookies have given the line to Ireland. If the Wallabies, and this is a very big if, because we saw the absolute dross that they tossed up last weekend, right, against Scotland. But we saw how good they were against England and against France. If they can pull out their top performance, that 14.5 line suddenly looks very tempting. Just in my opinion. That guy, Xavier, thank you very much for the follow over there on TikTok. Wasted World of Sports, of course, coming to you live on YouTube, live on TikTok, and sometimes live on Facebook. Whenever I can be bothered having it set up for Facebook, we go live there as well. But the last game of the season, and then it is podcast style. We're going to have to find things to do in the off-season. But yes, Ed, if it's something you're interested in, I do have planned a podcast-style show once a weekend during the off-season where I'll cover all the rugby league news that's happening in the off-season and preview 2025. As we are ready for kickoff, geez, you forget how quick this passes by and the game gets ready to start when, this is no disrespect, of course, to the haka. I'm an All Blacks fan, of course, as we know, but when it's just the anthems and straight into it, you don't realize just how quick things sneak up. Podcast is indeed taking over the media, Ed. 100%, and especially now, legacy media is in big trouble after that US election result. No matter what one feels about the presidential candidates and who won and who didn't. Where's my remote? Oh, there it is. No matter whose camp you are in, one thing I'm sure that we can all agree on is that the sudden destruction of legacy media can only be a good thing for the world. Ireland will be having the kickoff. Ireland and the Wallabies underway. And the Wallabies with first use of it. They secure the kickoff. It's perfectly placed by Ireland, but it's well taken there by Nick Frost. G-Tox, anytime try scorer, Wilson and Wright. Not bad. Through the hands immediately go the Wallabies. Getting Swalehi involved, testing out that wrist. Fraser McWright, there is one of your try scorers. Oh, no, Tom Wright. Tom Wright, you said. That's Fraser McWright. There in midfield for the Wallabies as they look to set up their exit here. Gordon finds his kicker. They're up quick on Lolosio. Has to pass it on. And Tom Wright gets good purchase on that, but doesn't find touch. And Prendergast brings it back for Ireland. They decide to put it through the hands and run. Well, we talked about it being the last game of the season for both of these teams. Prendergast out wide here to Bundyaki. And it's Ireland on the attack inside Wallabies territory, about 30 out from the try line. Prendergast again. That ball at the back, looking threatening. Van der Fleer turns and offloads. But the Wallabies defense holds firm for now. Huge cutout pass. Finds Bundyaki out on the wing. He's taken high there. No call from the officials. I mean, there was no malice in it whatsoever, but you normally see those called. Prendergast, he's quite tall and lanky, Prendergast. He actually looks like a tennis player. He's a very, very unusual shape as the kick in behind the line is knocked on by Lolosio. And there's the first mistake of the game. Prendergast has picked him out. And Lolosio with the first mistake of the game. Ed Vogel says the Irish jersey looks like Will Ferrell's elf costume. I'm sure they'll be very pleased to hear that, Ed. Oh, dear. Yeah, Paul Lolosio. He's a confidence player. He can be really good. But as we know, he can also be really, really bad. No, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all, Ed. I tell you what, the Will Ferrell Elf, that is a movie that I crack out every year in December, as well as Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase, the scrum resets, collapsing on this near side. Joe Schmidt, he's done wonders, it seemed, for the Wallabies. But a little bit of a road bump last weekend. as the scrum resets. Ireland with the feed, of course. The error from Lolosio. It looks like an off shade of green. This is not Ireland's typical shade of green, is it? It's a really interesting jersey. What I do like about the rugby union, though, is the collars. Bring back the collar. Rugby league needs to bring back the collar. Ah, gotcha. Yes, it might be their heritage jersey. Which would explain the collars. Reset number 2 for this scrum. The referee setting his mark, and a free kick now for Ireland. They do go quickly. Arky in midfield. Prendergast around the back, and now there's space out wide. Hugo Keenan goes straight through, and then spills the ball a metre out from the try line. Who got a hand in there? One of the Wallabies defenders gets a sneaky hand in. It was a beautiful set-piece play there from the free kick. Hugo Keenan was in for all money, and it's Andrew Kellaway. Well, of course it is. Always one of the Wallabies' best. Makes the tackle with one arm, reefs the ball out with another. Frustration there from Ireland. That was so close. And yet so far. Wallabies don't need to be better at scrum time. 5 metres out. 5 metres out from their own try line. They need a solid scrum here and a big clearance. Gordon feeds. Big shove here from Ireland. The scrum turns, but the referee allows it to play on. And here goes Kellaway down the short side. Pops it back in for Valentini. Risky stuff from the Wallabies. They've made about 10 metres. But, geez, it was high-risk play for very little reward. Gordon's got it in the back. Box kick clearance. Up towards halfway. Actually, no, not a lot of distance at all there from Gordon. Only finding touch 30 metres out at most. Ireland can keep the pressure on here. Kelleher struggled at line-out time last week. Kelleher goes to the back. Secured by Ireland. Oh, big hit, though, from Valentini, and turns that ball over. The Wallabies have got it. Rugby Pass TV is the name of the app. Tim. Rugby Pass. Gordon's got this at the back. Another box kick. High and contestable. Kellaway's getting through. Well taken to the back, though, from Ireland. Oh, and bobbling the ball and spilling it is Finlay Beelum. Just taking his eye off it there. And this is a gift for the Wallabies. Beelum, the big man, getting a little ahead of himself. Joshy on TikToks reckons the Aussies win. So yeah, it's going to take a big, big effort. But if Ireland keep doing things like that, it'll make it a whole lot easier. A dropped ball under no pressure there from Beelum. And the Wallabies will have a scrum down here, 40 metres out from Ireland's line. And about 10 metres in from touch. 15 metres, I think that is. Scrum down, a lot more solid this time from the Wallabies. That's good ball. Kellaway One out from the scrum, takes the hit up. Ruck ball. Valentini. He's been immense to start the match, Valentini. Plants it back, and the Wallabies still have it. Gordon releases it now. McWright out the back to Lolosio. Half a gap opened up, but they can't get through. Ikitau with the crash ball. Nowhere to go. Lolosio, good ball there to Tupou, who keeps it alive for Valentini. Pops it out the back for Kellaway. Kellaway is brought down. 22 out now. The Wallabies staying on the short side. Through the hands quickly. Out the back it goes. Was there a touch from Ireland? Or was it just a loose ball? It's Ireland ball, so it was just a loose pass out the back here. Who threw it? Kellaway. Oh, TMO's getting involved here. Someone's in trouble. Who's in trouble? Well, the camera's gone immediately to Joe McCarthy. Uh-oh. It's always nerve-wracking when the TMO gets involved. Well, Ireland are retreating from the line-out. I think they know a penalty is incoming here. All right. Oh, head-on-head contact. Well, come on. Head-on-head contact here. Joe McCarthy on Valentini. There's no way he did it on purpose. And, well, it's going to be a yellow card, I'm afraid. That's just the way things are ruled at the moment. Head-on-head contact. It was flush. Square on. Head-on-head contact. It's going to be a penalty to the Wallabies at the very least. Consistency says that it'll be a yellow card as well, but it should just be a penalty. And it looks like, yes, it looks like common sense is prevailing here. Well, yeah, common sense prevailing by the looks of it. I don't think there's been a yellow card shown, but we have seen that. We have seen that happen. Any high contact at all has led to a yellow card. That was just a head clash. It happens. Penalty to the Wallabies, and Lolosio is going to take the shot. The Aussie TV commentators are screaming for a yellow card, which I can understand. A yellow card would be consistent with the way that that's been ruled for the past couple of years. But I also think a yellow card for that would be ridiculous. But they're screaming for it. I can't believe that it wasn't given. Lolosio from right out in front to give the Wallabies the lead early. 9 minutes gone. It's right down the middle. And Australia lead 3-0. It's been quite a scrappy and tentative start from both teams. Quite frankly, very impressive turnout. I always find it funny, like living in Australia, as the Wallabies take the kickoff. Valentini sets it just outside the 22. And box kick from Gordon up to halfway. Contestable. Flying through is Jorgensen. Was he bumped off the ball there? No, says the referee. Yes, says the referee. No, he doesn't. It's a penalty to Ireland. It goes the other way. Jorgensen with a push in the back. Jorgensen was racing through. Bumped into the back of the Irish player. But yeah, as I was going to say, living in Australia, ahoy there, Paige. Speaking of living in Australia, all the talk. Rugby league's obviously, rugby league and Aussie rules are obviously the big sports here. But I always find it funny when diehard rugby league supporters are death riding rugby union. But you just look at a rugby union game in Europe, look at a rugby union game in New Zealand. The sport of rugby union itself is incredibly strong. There are no problems for World Rugby. As, Beelum spills it again. 2 touches for 2 knock-ons. Finlay, Beelum. And Lolosio throws a forward pass out wide, but he knew he was playing under advantage. And Finlay, Beelum, well, what's going on? Australian rugby is in massive trouble. Yes, Paige on TikTok. You're too drunk to sleep right now. So you're going to watch me. Oh, well, hey. I'll be there soon. I mean, state of drunkenness. Not your house. Don't know where you live. You know what I mean. Bill Lee Tev. Shout out to Wayne. Cheers, Wayne. A big shove here from Ireland. Wallabies secure the scrum ball, though, and Lolosio now clears up towards halfway. Finlay Beelum, the Irish prop. 2 touches, 2 dropped ball. He does not have his head in the game just yet, and it is letting Australia off the hook. Yes, Ed Vogel, this is the last game of rugby that we'll be covering here on the channel. There's more rugby on. Ireland go to the front, and it's stolen by the Wallabies. Jeez, Ireland just have not clicked into gear. Gordon's got it at the back. 12 minutes gone. And Ireland have just not, apart from that moment where they very nearly scored a try, they have just not clicked with anything. Here's James Lowe. Here's a player who could turn it around. Puts the left boot straight up the middle, finds the grass, but it sits up nicely for Lolosio inside the 22, and he clears. Not a lot of distance, and Ireland will win that little exchange. Got to get their line out in order. The line out was a little bit of an issue against the All Blacks as well. Lowe off the back of the line out. Archie with the wraparound. Lowe throws the pass out to nobody. And Prendergast has to race back and collect it. Honestly, look at that. Prendergast is not built like a fly half. He's really not. I can actually picture him standing across the court from Novak Djokovic as the box kick from Gibson Park, perfectly placed inside the 22. He's had enough. Gibson Park, the old experienced head, says, let's just get down the other end. Let's just look, it's not working for us at the moment for whatever reason. Let's just pin him down there. Clever play from Gibson Park and perfectly executed. Line out throw for Penga Amosa. He's cleaning off the ball at the moment. Who do I think is the Wallabies' best player at the moment? Said as they go to the middle, do the Wallabies and secure the ball. Valentini has been immense to start this match. Gordon, one out from the ruck, sets up another play. Looking for the angle here for the box kick clearance. Here it comes. Not a lot of distance again from Gordon. And a line-out throw. He can't believe it. He wants more distance. He's shaking his head. F off, mate. I'm pretty sure he just said to the touchy. He wanted more distance on that. Don't take advice from him at the moment. Jeez. Finlay Beelum Mr. Dropsies just went up and had a word. I wouldn't be listening to him at the moment. Ireland secure the line out into midfield. Prendergast to Aki. Aki out the back. It goes to Hansen. Hansen for Keenan. Brought down. The Wallabies are in over the top of this one, but Ireland get it back. Prendergast again. Here's Aki. Pops the pass up. And Finlay Bealham holds on to the ball this time and gives away a penalty. Well, Finlay Bealham, 3 touches. 3 times I've called his name out. Not like that. 3 times I've called his name out here tonight in the opening 16 minutes for 3 mistakes. And 16 minutes is way too early to consider taking off one of your starting props. But, I mean, it's really starting to cost now. Finlay Bealham, 2 knock-ons, and now holding on, giving away a penalty. Ed Vogel, going back to your first question there, Ed, who do I think is the Wallabies' best player at the moment? Well, they go to the back of the line out, secure the ball, McWright, Lolosio, inside ball. Well defended by Ireland in the end. Frost sets up the ruck. Tupou crawls forward another couple of meters. Quick hands from Wilson. And Iki Tau is wrapped up in midfield. The Irish defence too strong at the moment. Lolosio puts the grubber kick in behind the line and there to collect it. Hugo Keenan, I think it is, who's back there. Wallabies look to drive over the top, but Ireland have it. Well, I think Lolosio just doesn't have the kicking game. That's his downfall at the moment, as Gibson Park box kick clearance into touch. Wallabies with a good net gain here. They'll have the line-out throw, 30 out from the try line. Would I coach a youth rugby team? Asked Ed. Probably not. My life doesn't need that kind of stress. Crossfield kick, looking for Swalihi. Swalihi's through. Puts pressure on, wins the ball, pops the pass back. The Wallabies have got numbers out to the right. Kellaway steps in field, well defended. A try-saving effort from that man again, Prendergast. They're 5 meters out here, the Wallabies. Swalihi attacking the high ball and winning again. World Rugby was not ready for Joseph Swalihi. They've lost some ground, but they've got a penalty advantage here. Lolosio with the wraparound. Holds the pass up perfectly for Wright, who sends it out to Jorgensen, and Jorgensen scores in the corner. That was a beautiful play. A simple wraparound with Lolosio. Got the arms free, and once he got the arms free, it was 2-on-1. Australia with the first try, and Ireland at the moment, they are the creators of their own demise. And you hate to single out any one player. But Finlay Bealham has been directly responsible for this. 2 knock-ons and a penalty turnover. Lolosio from the sideline puts this on target. Does it hold its line? It does. And the Wallabies lead 10-0. Wow. What a turn-up this is. That was a very slick backline play. Max Jorgensen's been a hell of a find. Yeah, Donaldson was awful. Donaldson came on a little bit too late against Scotland, but he didn't add anything. Poor guy was on a little bit of a hiding to nothing, though, I suppose, as Valentini spills the ball from the kickoff. It's gone backwards, says the referee. Oh, Ben Hunt needed this referee in the 2015 grand final. Wow. Clearing kick now from Gordon. I don't know what to say about that. Valentini has just gotten away with murder. Let's have a look. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And the crowd has just seen it on the big screen replay as well. And a chorus of boos. Understandably. A sea of boos. Oh, the TMO. Hey! I didn't know that the TMO, this must be new. The TMO is getting involved here. The TMO is getting involved, and we're looking at that kickoff restart and the knock on from Valentini. And I did not know. Oh! Oh! Okay. I thought we were looking at the knock on. Valentini has just elbowed old mate in the face. Mac Hansen has just copped an elbow right to the throat from Valentini, and he might be wishing that he did get called for a knock on. Once this is reviewed, he is in big trouble. Referee seems to have the card in the pocket tonight, though. But he's cocked the elbow up. He's cocked the elbow straight up. And Mac Hansen's copped it in the throat. And this will be a penalty to Ireland. Once again, I think a yellow card would be extremely harsh. Penalty will be sufficient. Ed Vogel asks how Michelle's coping with Hunt Bronco signing. I think she's fine with it. We haven't really spoken about it. I'll tell you what will be struggling to cope with the Ben Hunt signing. Brisbane's salary cap. How in the name of all things high and mighty they are under the cap? I'm going to take a lot of convincing that they're under the salary cap. Penalty to Ireland. They end up getting the ball back anyway. And Prendergast pops it into touch. No thought of the 3 points. They want to set up the rolling maul here. Look for Kelleher. Control this at the back. Well, he's got to get the throw right first. That's the first step. Goes to the back. Ireland secure it. Uncontested. Kelleher does have it at the back. Looking to drive over, but the Wallabies hold firm for now. Ireland go again. Here come the backs getting involved. Penalty advantage. An illegal collapse of the maul. And Ireland have got their chance now. There's the penalty. Well, they'll put it into the corner and go again, I suspect. Plug it into the corner and go again. Any more penalties down here? 22 minutes gone. Australia leading 10-0. Prendergast does indeed put it into touch. This will be uncontested. I'll tell you what, if I'm the Wallabies, I compete here because Kelleher's throwing hasn't been on point, though that one was. And they don't set up the maul. They release it immediately. Something a little bit different. And Doris Day is a meter out from the line. So close now. Gibson Park's got it at the back. Fires a huge cutout pass across for Hansen. Half a meter out. Penalty advantage. Gibson Park to Van der Fleer. And Van der Fleer, who scored 2 last weekend, barges his way over for Ireland's first. They're back in it in a big way now. Well, they were never out of it. It was only 10-0 with plenty of time left, but they didn't look like they were going anywhere. You thought for all money it was going to be the rolling maul again. They fooled everybody. And Van der Fleer with the crash ball. No chance for Andrew Kellaway. A complete mismatch. A retreating Kellaway had no hope. Joe Schmidt can't watch. He's turned his back on it. Prendergast with the conversion. Oh, he's pushed it off to the right horribly. That's a dead set shocker. That is a big, big fault outside the service box. And the TMO getting involved. I thought the TMO was getting involved for the knock-on. And I thought, they don't normally do that. I realized it was pretty blatant, but yeah, they don't normally do that. But he was actually looking at the foul play, so that makes sense. Through the hands now, Ireland from the restart. Here's James Lowe, puts the grubber kick in. Kellaway takes him out. Getting away with it. The referee suggesting he was already committed to the tackle. He's really letting some things go here. This official. Which is, you kind of like to see. You kind of like to see a free-flowing game as the Wallabies knock on. The Wallabies knock on in the ruck. James Lowe still having words with the touchy. He can't believe he wasn't caught, didn't get a penalty here. Puts the grubber kick through. Was Andrew Kellaway committed to that tackle? It'd be hard to argue for him there, I'm afraid. Very hard to argue in his favour, but he gets away with it. And Ireland will get the ball back here, roughly where they would have had it from a touch finder anyway, so. But yes, we do like to see a free-flowing game. But you don't want a free-for-all either. The referee seems to be letting too much go. 25 minutes gone. Australia lead by 5. It's Ireland with the scrum down, 40 metres out from Australia's try line. Free kick. Gibson Park takes it. Low in midfield. Runs straight over the top of Lolosio. Prendergast through the hands now, out to Hansen on the wing, cuts back in field. Taken on the 22, close to touch, dragged over the sideline, manages to plant the ball back. Doris Day on the 22, sets it up, Gibson Park's got it at the back, Australia get through and try and disrupt. They did so well, they've slowed that ball down big time. Thunderflare in midfield. Resets here for Ireland. Numbers out to the left. Aki spots that. Cut out pass to Lowe. Lowe holds the pass up and Kelleher was cutting back in field. Kelleher does not hold his line on the wing. Cuts back in field and Lowe throws it to the touchy. The cut back in field was probably the right option, to be honest. From Ronan Kelleher there, he was running out of space. A big let off there for the Wallabies. And they'll have this line out throw inside their own territory, well and truly. .26.5 minutes gone. For Ireland, it's just been... the hands have been letting them down, really. For a team that was number 1 in the world just a couple of weeks ago. Harsh to say, but expect better. Angaramosa, big throw this one. Can the Wallabies take a lead into half-time? They go to the back, secured by Frost, released early for Valentini. Valentini's held up and dragged backwards a couple of meters. Gordon with the box kick clearance. And he's been given a little bit more distance this time. 30 meters out. He still seems confused, Jake Gordon. I think the touchies are just lazy tonight. Both teams have been complaining about the distance that's been given to them from these clearing kicks to touch. Kelleher goes over the back. Gibson Park. Cutout pass into midfield. Prendergast around the back. Pops it up for Lowe. Well read by the Wallabies defence. 22 out from the line now. Prendergast. Cutout pass across the face of the defence. Well read again. Australia's defence holding firm for now. Keenan holds the pass up. Tries to get away from Valentini. Valentini comes back at him. Short pass in midfield. Tech Kelleher pops it up now for McCarthy. They're 5 out. Lose the ball. Australia have it. Fraser McWright picks up the scraps. And again, it's the ball handling of Ireland, letting them down. Lolosio from inside his own in goal clears up to the 22. Credit to Australia's defence, though. The Wallabies holding firm, and it looks like Swelly, he's doing a lot of the organisation there, which is crazy to think. Ed Vogel says the Wallabies will face Fiji next year before the Lions tour in Newcastle. Should be good for expanding the game. Absolutely. Oh, Tom Wright's broken his nose. The trainer is literally holding his nose onto his face right now. Poor fella. What was I? Oh, yeah, Fiji. Yeah, that should be fun. Wallabies and Fiji in Newcastle. I might actually make the trek down for that one. Could be a bit of fun. One of my greatest moments of the channel so far has definitely been the Fiji Wallabies game in the Rugby World Cup. Being part of that, so special. Being able to call that game, be part of it, witness it live. Obviously, it wasn't a good result for the Wallabies, but it was a great moment to be part of. As Ireland secure the line-out ball. Low to Aki. Aki with a strong run. Always gets the go forward. Gibson Park again down this near side. Dane on this side of the field here. Keenan to Lowe. Lowe spills it. It wasn't meant for him. It was a cutout pass for Mac Hansen. And James Lowe got the hand in the way. And again, the ball handling. How many mistakes from Ireland? Nick Frost with the short ball that was surely forward. Puts Wilson in space. And then Rangers up in support. Australia have gone up over halfway. And now Fraser McWright bumps off one. Front foot ball here for the Wallabies. Numbers to the right. The kick from Tom Wright. Looking for Kellaway. Kellaway is winning the race to this ball. And back there just in the nick of time is Robbie Henshaw. Well, the Wallabies have nearly gone the length of the field. It was surely a forward pass here as we have a look on the replay. It's a mile forward from Nick Frost to Harry Wilson. But you've got to play to the whistle. It's a mile forward. You've got to play to the whistle, though. Harry Wilson and Nick Frost. Who'd have thought that those two would be teaming up for a break up the middle of the field? Ireland with the restart, and it sets up now. It's been a penalty to Ireland. It's set up for James Slipper. Slipper was away. James Slipper was in the corner, but the referee has got the hands up. An offside knock on from Frost into the hands of Slipper. Ireland punch this one up towards halfway. Jonathan Manson, ahoy mates. Dan, are you a fan of sevens? Not everyone is. South Africa lost to Kenya today. Wow, that's huge. That is actually massive. the full game, Springboks would have won without difficulty. Yes, well, sevens is, look, I don't follow the sevens because too much of it. I enjoyed the sevens when it was just a once or twice a year tournament. It was a spectacle. It was a special thing. But now that there's actually a whole dedicated sevens circuit, as the intercept from Tupou. Tupou will not have the pace, surely. Gibson Park comes at him, and he pops the pass up for Prendergast. Hold on to it, big fella. Set up the next phase play. And a penalty to Australia. Islander holding on right out in front. And they're going to get a result here, the Wallabies. An intercept from Taniela Tupou. And the big fella was away. Oh, that's what you love to see. A big prop making a break upfield. He's gone 10, 20 meters. He's running out of legs now. Throws the pass over the top of his head. "32 minutes gone. An intercept break from Taniela Tupou. How many times do you get to say that? This is again, don't tell me he's coming off the field now. Lolosio with the shot at 3. And this will put the Wallabies out 13 points to 5 as we're approaching half-time. But yes, to answer the question, sevens, I do enjoy the sevens, but there's just so much of it now. It's the same. I actually used to be a cricket fan, but there is just so much cricket now. As Lolosio from right out in front makes no mistake. There is just so much cricket. I mean, a ridiculous amount. And I feel like they've done that with the sevens. Like, it was a bit of fun. It was a spectacle, but they've turned it into a whole tour now, which is great. That's great for the game. Don't get me wrong. It's great for the players that get to be involved in that. But I just, yeah, I couldn't care less anymore. As Australia secure the restart, leading 13 points to 5 now. Gordon nearly gets sacked with the ball there. Through the hands to Wright. Wright clears. Prendergast has been shouldered off the ball. Swalihi might have just given away a penalty here. But Hugo Keenan takes it in the air. And lost the ball. Well, he did all the hard work there. Hugo Keenan has done all the hard work. And then loses the ball in contact. Now, this is surely a penalty. Prendergast has been shouldered off the ball from Swalihi. And this is an area of the game that he really needs to be careful of, because you're not going to have a referee like this every week that just lets everything go. He has just dropped the shoulder into Prendergast. And I'm actually surprised the TMO hasn't got involved here. I am really surprised. But that's an area of the game Swalihi will need to be very careful of, because they're very, 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 very strict. Normally. Usually. In rugby union, that's a very strict. They might still be looking at it just yet. No. We're just setting the scrum. I don't know. Ed Vogel's asked why Swalihi did that. I really don't know why he felt the need. It was completely unnecessary. The kick was already done, and it wasn't like Prendergast was going to chase it. It was pretty clear from the action of the kick that Prendergast was not chasing his own ball there. Anyway, scrum down, Wallabies feed. And it's very solid. Gordon to Lolosio. Swalihi back to Gordon on the wraparound, and Gordon's got a little bit of space. James Lowe turns in and makes a good tackle. Fills out the back of the ruck, but the Wallabies still have it. inside Irish territory now. Hands over the top of the ruck there, forcing the mistake, and Ireland have stolen it back. Penalty now for sealing off Fraser McWright. And a penalty to Ireland on halfway. And I've got to say, it's a little bit of a lottery at the moment. It is such a lottery with some of these calls. Prendergast looks for touch from halfway, finds it 10 metres out from the line. Neo says, so glad the Wallabies are doing much better. Good for World Rugby. 100%. I think World Rugby is in such a good state at the moment in terms of competitiveness amongst the top 10. Percival says, please, I need Ireland to lose. Well, Ireland go on the attack here. They throw to the front and make a complete mess of it. Oh, they've completely titsed that up. And Australia come away with the ball. Lolosio onto right to Swalihi, who's well wrapped up. A great legs tackle. Fires the pass back for Lolosio. Wallabies still 10 out from their own line. Ikitau goes to ground. Gordon controls it at the back. Box kick. And again, not a lot of distance. Let's see if he fires up this time. He looks a little confused. But the clearing kick. 4 minutes to go until the halftime break. Australia lead 13 points to 5. Ireland have created this themselves. They have just not been able to hold on to the ball. So many handling errors from Ireland. Throw to the front of the line out is good, but Gibson Park lets it bounce and Australia come away with it. They've made a mess of another one. Mac Hansen races back, scrambles back to collect the ball just outside the 22. Beelum flippers in over the top of it off his feet. Lucky to get away with that. Gibson Park now. Got it at the back of the ruck. Box kick. High. Contestable ball. Going to land just short of halfway. Hansen taps it back. And Ireland have got it. Kelleher gets the arms free. Throws it to nobody. Gibson Park races back for it. And Prendergast says, enough of this. Let's just get out of here. Puts it out. Oh, it's taken a bounce backwards into the field of play, has it? And Kelleher runs it back into Kellaway, back into midfield. To Jorgensen for the clearance. And Jorgensen finds touch up on the 40-meter line. 37 minutes gone. Neo's asking how Swalihi's playing. He's been relatively quiet tonight. Swalihi's had a couple of good touches on attack. When the ball has made it out his way, he's thrown some good passes that have created some space. But defensively, he was very lucky to get away with a hit on Prendergast off the ball. A shoulder at that. There were no arms in the tackle. After a kick, the Irish fly half, I should say, I suppose. The Irish fly half with the kick, clearing kick. And Swalihi, for whatever reason, just dropped the shoulder in late off the ball and somehow got away with it. So just little things like that he needs to clean up in his game. And speaking of being taken out off the ball after a kick, Jorgensen, the TMO's involved. And having a look at this one, Jorgensen with the clearing kick, and it's Beelum who's chopped the legs out. Beelum has gone for the charge down, lost his feet, and has taken out Jorgensen's legs. And if this is penalised, it just adds to Beelum's resume of crap tonight. He has been really, really bad. And it's been cleared. All clear. Yeah, look, I think that would have been harsh. He fell into it. Would have been a very harsh call. But they're not happy about it, the Wallabies. But yes, Beelum has not had a good night. Well, they have given the penalty. They have given a penalty for a late tackle. Well, there you go. I thought he got away with it, but no. The TMO got involved. And this is a penalty, Wallabies. Just shy of the halfway line. A couple of minutes only left till half-time. Lolosio puts this into touch. And the Wallabies will get last say here in the first half. They go to the back of the line out for Valentini. Taps it down for Wilson. Wilson keeps the ball in one arm. Sets it up now. Valentini. Cruiser, ahoy, mate. How you doing tonight? The pop pass from Wilson to McWright is lost forward. And Ireland will get the scrum down. They've defended that well. And that should see us into halftime. 13 points to 5, though. The Wallabies. We have time for the scrum. Yeah, I think so. Ed, I don't think, I'm just speaking personally. Ed Vogel, for context here, has said, now everyone will say the ref helped the Wallabies in the first half. Yeah, look, I would say, for me personally, the referee's just been crap. The referee's been utter bollocks. I wouldn't say he's helped anybody. He's just been bad. Generally bad. But, yes, I know exactly what you mean, Ed. A penalty here at scrum time for Ireland. Well, maybe this first half is not done and dusted just yet. Maybe there is some life left in this first half. With 15 seconds remaining on the clock. JYD, ahoy, mate. Is Joe going to pluck another rabbit out? It's a bit early to tell. Ireland could find their mojo in the second half. Kelleher throws to the front. Prendergast to Archie. Archie pops the pass out for Lowe. That's not Lowe, sorry. Gibson Park to Archie. Archie slides to the 22. Ireland still in possession. Time is up on the clock. The next break in play will be half-time. Gibson Park is hit hard. What a hit from Tupou. Back from McCarthy. Ireland keeping this alive. Prendergast, cut out pass to Lowe. Lowe bobbles the ball. He's close to the sideline, fires it back in field, and it's called in touch by the official. And again, the execution from Ireland lacking, but the defense of the Wallabies on point, and they're going into half-time with a 13 points to 5 lead. Australia have come to play. Ireland, not so much at the moment. They've been very disappointed. And here's an ad for the Sevens. Speaking of the Sevens earlier. Just moments ago, we were talking about the Sevens. Wow. 13 points to 5. Australia take the lead into the halftime break. I'm going to have a quick break. And we'll be right back to discuss everything that we just saw. Right after this. Very quick break, 30 seconds. Did I make it? Was it 30 seconds? Welcome back, West to World of Sports. Halftime here. 13 points to 5. Ireland have been extremely disappointing, but that being said, I was talking about it last week when the Wallabies were disappointing against Scotland. And you've got to give credit where credit is due. The Wallabies last week played as well as Scotland led them. And you've got to say, again, this week, Ireland have been very, very scrappy. Have they only played as well as the Wallabies have led them? The Wallabies' defence, this might be the best Wallabies' defensive effort that I can recall seeing in a very, very long time. Andrew Kellaway with a try-saving tackle. I mean, this game has a completely different complexion, right? Complexion. This game has a completely different complexion if Ireland score that opening try. And they were 5 meters out from the line. I want to say, who was it? I think it was Robbie Henshaw. Robbie Henshaw, I believe it was, on the back of a beautiful set-piece play. Got through, was going to score for all money. Andrew Kellaway, with the try-saving tackle, had his left arm wrapped around the player to stop him and slow him down. Raked the ball out with the right arm. Try-saver. Daniela Tupou, the big man, an intercept in midfield. Try-saving intercept. If Tupou doesn't get hands on that ball and disrupt, Ireland have got an overlap and they're away down the other end, potentially score. And there's been a couple of other moments as well that I can't specifically remember by name or by play, but Ireland have had their chances and they've let themselves down as well. It hasn't just been Australia's defence. Beelum has been shocking. I mean, I hate to just single out and fire off at one particular player, but Beelum in particular has been really, really bad for Ireland. His opening 3 touches led to 3 turnovers, 2 knock-ons, and a penalty. But the Wallabies doing very well. Oh, they just had the stats up on the screen and I missed them. Hang on, I've got to go back to that because I want to see the errors, if that's on here. 67% territory to Ireland. Wow, I actually find some of these stats quite bewildering. 67% territory to Ireland. I never would have guessed that. To be behind with that amount of territorial advantage, that just goes to show, I think, what I was just talking about, though. The Wallabies' defence has been some of the best that I've seen from a Wallabies team in recent years, at least. Very long time. They don't have the errors up here. I would love to see the errors because Ireland have made quite a few, I dare say. Well, I mean, there's 3 errors just from Beelum alone, to be perfectly honest. 3 from Beelum. But that'll be very interesting to see. JYD says Eddie Jones's Aussies would be down by 30. It's hard to argue against that. Eddie Jones, he was never really into it, was he? On reflection, he was never really into it. Eddie Jones. Oh, the 7s is on now. Actually, let's skip over to this at halftime because I can tell you that Argentina in the 7s, Argentina are smoking Ireland at the moment. And the Rugby 7s, it's half-time, and Argentina a very dominant lead over Ireland. Farrell Legacy, ahoy, mate. So what was I on about? Eddie Jones. Yeah, his head wasn't really in the game, was it? Poor old Eddie. There was some shenanigans going on there with that Eddie Jones scenario. Saying that he had not had any discussions with Japan. I've not spoken to Japan. And then within a week, I think it was a week, it wasn't very long anyway, of being dismissed by the Wallabies. Suddenly he's announced as the new Japanese head coach. $13-5 at halftime. I don't think anyone really saw this coming. The Wallabies looking to snap a losing streak here against Ireland. Ireland have won the past 3. For Ireland, I think it is quite simple. I mean, I am amazed at the stats. There's 67% territorial advantage to be trailing on the scoreboard. But they obviously don't need to do too much different here, Ireland. They've got to find ways to break down the Wallabies' defence. Justin Harrison always looks so miserable. And, Australia in the Dubai Sevens go undefeated. So, 67% territorial advantage here for Ireland. They probably don't need to do too much different in the second half. They just need to fix up their ball handling and execution, which has been abysmal. I mean, it's been really, really bad. If they can tidy that up, their opportunities will come. They can get themselves on top in this contest. It's really weird to say because we're talking about Ireland getting themselves back into the contest, but you look at the stats and the stats suggest they're well and truly in it. So it's really just been the little things, the execution that's letting them down at the end of the day. It'll be interesting to see if Bielam gets much game time in the second half. You couldn't bring him off that early, but I was saying if I was a coach, I'd have taken him off after those first 3 errors. 3 touches of the ball, 3 errors, you're done. You're getting the hook. I have rewards to claim. TikTok has just alerted me. I have rewards to claim, huh? What rewards do I have to claim? Let's have a look here on the TikTok. I have rewards. Where do I even find that? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, well. Still, good to know. Thank you, TikTok. Waste of Wilder Sports, of course, live on YouTube primarily, live on TikTok, live on Facebook. If you're following over there on YouTube, do feel free to... Oh, here we go. It's the same again. Oh, I've got 2 flares I can claim now. Two flares. What that means. Oh, claim. There we go. All right, I've claimed them. I've obtained a flare. Very nice. Maybe I'll use that in the second half. What was I on about? Can't remember. Oh, yes. Over on YouTube. Feel free to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. All of that fun stuff that I'm not good at. I'm not good at the self-promotion stuff. I completely understand why it gets done, and like you watch TikToks or you watch YouTube videos, and it's like and subscribe, or on TikTok it's heart the video and like the video and give me a follow, and it's just like I completely understand why it gets said and why people do it, but I just don't know. I feel weird doing it. It's like I figure that the person, and it doesn't work this way, is the problem. But I always feel like, well, if the person likes the video enough, they're gonna like it anyway and follow. I don't need to tell you to, or ask you to. But it's amazing what difference the occasions that I do remember to actually say it on YouTube. Anyway, it makes such a difference. Bizarre. Don't understand it. I digress. 13 points to 5 here at halftime. The Wallabies getting the job done at the moment. Can they keep it up in the second half? Wallahi, will he get into the game a bit more? Haven't really seen a whole lot from the backs. Australia's been very damaging up front, which I find surprising. I would have thought that, especially against a team like Ireland, it would be the other way around, if anything. I'll tell you what, though, if the Wallabies do go on with this, they'll be so disappointed about last weekend against Scotland, and that they completely slipped on a banana peel there, didn't they? They were so bad. And an opportunity at a Grand Slam went begging. They're showing what they're capable of here against Ireland as teams are out for the second half. Oh, here we go. 40 minutes remain. 40 minutes left in the season. Here on Wasted World of Sports. Let's hope it is a blockbuster finish. It's been such a good year all round on the channel. We've experienced so many quality games. It's been such a good rugby and NRL season. It's deserving of a game going down to the wire to send us into the off-season. Let's do it. Second half is underway. Wallabies with the kickoff. Testing that ball high down the middle of the field, but Ireland come down with it. Back to Prendergast inside the 22 with a clearing kick up over halfway. Finds space, bounces up for Tom Wright. And Wright brings it back just over the halfway line here for the Wallabies in midfield. Tapped on to Ikitau. Ikitau can't get the ball free. Low ball here. Low ball for the Wallabies. Ireland are able to defend it well. And again, slow ball. Gordon's got it to the back. Box kick. Up over halfway. Well taken to the back. Hugo Keenan moving forward. Prendergast. Here to Henshaw. Hansen steps back in field. Beats Swalehi, gets the ball free for Bundy Aki. Aki's up over halfway. And Ireland march into Australia's territory. Looking a little bit more fluent here in the second half. Gibson Park onto Prendergast. Low. Dummies inside. Goes into contact on his own. 45 out from the Wallabies line. Doris Day puts the head down and charges forward. Penalty advantage. Australia in from the side. So Gibson Park throws it across to Low. Low puts the grubber kick through. Straight into touch it goes. But they knew they were playing under penalty advantage. And we come back to halfway for the penalty. Right out in front, but a lot of distance. It is kickable, but I would say 2 minutes into the second half, they'll put this into the corner and keep the pressure on. Well, as close to the corner as they can get it. James Slipper there, the old head, giving away that penalty. Oh, they're taking the three. Well, I thought it might have just been a little bit too much distance. Well, it's only 40 metres out. Prendergast right out in front. Predicted kick success of 69%. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't realise it was that close. I thought it was on the halfway line. If it's on the halfway line, you might have considerations of going to the corner. Yes, right out in front. Prendergast, 40 metres on the distance. Puts it right down the middle. And Ireland strike first in the second half. 13 points to 8. And we just caught Andy Farrell picking his nose in the coach's box. Nice. Pick me a winner, Andy. 3 minutes gone in the second half. And Ireland hit back to make it 13 points to 8. Lolosio with the restart here for the Wallabies. McCarthy crawling forward. Gibson Park's got it at the back. Box kick. Lots of height, not a lot of distance, but contestable. Low gets through, but Tom Wright does extremely well there, up above everybody. Take that ball. And the Wallabies still in possession now. Slipper onto Swelly. Swelly taps it on to nobody. Kellaway has to go back for it. And Ireland storm through here on defense, but Valentini does well to collect it. Under the pump here, the Wallabies. Told to use it. And just getting away in the nick of time. Gordon with the box kick clearance up over halfway. Ireland back in possession. Gibson Park's got it. Prendergast. Crossfield kick to wide open spaces here. Hits James Lowe on the chest. Lowe gets the fend on Kellaway. And Kellaway and Wright bring him down. But that was great vision from Prendergast. Great execution. And Ireland on the attack now. 22 out from the Wallabies line. A dominant start to the second half. A start that they needed. Australia in from the side again. Lucky to get away with that. Henshaw takes it inside the 22. Ireland starting to click into gear now. This could be a long old second half for the Wallabies. Spills out the back. Hansen collects it. Gives it to Henshaw. Finds Low. Low bobbles the ball and spills it forward. And Gordon will clear it for the Wallabies. Up to halfway. What a clearing kick that was. Well, the touchy has not given him much distance here. It's been a theme of the night. The kicks into touch have not been given a lot of distance. And this has been the case for both teams. I feel like the touchies are just lazy tonight. They don't want to run. We're doing too much running. Tupou's off. The big man. He's had some good involvements. Daniela Tupou. The intercept was So beautiful to watch, wasn't it? The Taniela Tupou intercept. Gibson Park puts this one high. And, well, that was an interesting play. Lolosio claims the mark and now clears. Straight down the throat of Prendergast on halfway. He's got Keenan with Hansen supporting. Hansen changes direction. No gaps in the Wallaby defense so far. Is that what you were talking about, Ed? The kick for... What a huge hit from Swalihi. Jamming in. And drops the shoulder. Did he have arms in the tackle? The crowd is booing. Hansen tries to get away from Lolosio. Keeps the ball alive for Gibson Park. That was such a huge tackle from Swalihi. What a hit. Prendergast. Numbers out to the right for Ireland. This has been lost forward by the Wallabies. Play on, though, says the referee. Oops. Honestly, it's a shambles out there at the moment, the referee. You don't know what's going on. James Ryan as Ireland maintain possession. Back to Prendergast. Puts the ball high. Contestable. Flying through. Kellaway's under it. It's been taken and lost by Keenan. Backwards. Lost backwards. It's play on. And again, a scrappy loose ball at the back. But Ireland retain possession once more. And again, it's loose. Penalty for Ireland. And they'll take the 3 here, surely. Well, I've got to say, I'm completely lost with what's going on at the moment. I don't know what's happening. The referee has lost all control of this game. And I don't know that any of us know exactly what's happening here. I mean, that was surely a knock on. Well, no, he's done, in fairness there, Hugo Keenan has done extremely well there. They've gone, they've put it into touch here, Ireland. Kelleher throws to the middle. Ireland secure the ball. Release it immediately. Wraparound play. They've got numbers here to burn. And it's a try for Doris Day. Right under the posts. The Wallabies ran out of defenders. Set piece from line out time. A simple wraparound. Gibson Park to low with the pop pass up for Henshaw. Dragged the defenders in, which left space outside. And Doris Day is the beneficiary. A try under the post, and we're all locked up, and Ireland are about to take the lead. Once this is awarded. They've started the second half red hot. Have Ireland. Prendergast pops it over, and for the first time tonight, Ireland are in the lead. 15 points to 13. Crazy scenes. Off the restart, the ruck ball is scrappy and the Wallabies will come away with it. Valentini out on the left. Gordon pops it up there for Angaramosa. Very loose ball. Prendergast gets a boot to it, but it's hit the referee. And we'll come back for the scrum. Jake Gordon needs to be careful here. He's firing up. The Wallabies have a history of fiery little number 9s that get on the wrong side of the referees, don't they? And he's just got to be careful there. Not to let the frustrations boil over. You don't want to get the referee on the wrong side of your team. The referee's very sus, Ajax. I generally have a fair idea what's going on. I mean, I'm the first to raise my hand and say, at scrum time, even though when I played, I was involved in the scrums, I still don't know what's going on at scrum time. Some of those penalties at the scrums are just take your pick. Could be anything. But tonight, this refereeing has been very bizarre. Let's just say that. It's been very bizarre. And I don't think it's favoured one team in particular. I think it's just been bad. This referee has just generally been bad. Very, very weird officiating. Scrum down here for the Wallabies. Speaking of scrums, Ed Vogel on YouTube says Slipper needs to go. James Slipper must be what, 40 years old now? Got to be getting on. James Slipper has been around for a long while, it feels like. It probably is time for some fresh blood. Slipper's one of those guys that's been around for so long, he's kind of like a constant reminder of immense Wallaby failures, right? Scrum collapses, but the referee says play on. Why not? Swalihi. 22 out from the line here, the Wallabies. Lolosio onto right. Right puts some fancy footwork on, but Bundyaki brings him down with an ankle tap. And it's loose ruck ball. Ireland dive on it, and Ireland have got the turnover. It's a free-for-all at ruck time at the moment. It is an absolute free-for-all at ruck time. Nobody knows what's going on. And Ireland secure the turnover. Gibson Park with the box kick. It's high. Contestable ball. Everybody lets it bounce, and Harry Wilson says, I'll have that, thank you very much. But Ireland drive over the top, and now Ireland have it. Just short of halfway. Penalty to the Wallabies. James Ryan guilty of holding on. Well, who knows what's going on here, honestly. Now, do Australia have a shot at 3 here? It's a long way out. Lolosio's considering it. Lolosio has stepped up. He's got the ball in hand. He's certainly having a think here. And no, they put it into touch. Just inside Ireland's 22. 15 points to 13. A much better start to the second half here for Ireland. And a big throw. Oh, Beelam's off. Okay, I wondered how much time he would get in the second half. My question is answered. He has gone in the 53rd minute. Pangaramosa throws to the front. A little trick play from the Wallabies. And they've got the ball now inside the 22 of Ireland. Kalia. Onto Alatoa there. Very slow ball here for the Wallabies. Ireland get in and drive over the top. And comes back. We're going to get a penalty to the Wallabies. Well, he had to put the foot down eventually, the referee. Ireland, basically what just happened there was Ireland just went, there's no rules apparently at the breakdown. Let's just barge in over the top of this. And they have marched over the top of it. A penalty right and in front. And they are taking the 3 here. Lolosio from right and in front. Ed Vogel says Ikitau has been unseen. Ikitau's been quiet tonight. Most part. Lolosio from right in front to give Australia the lead. Oh, he makes no mistake. And the Wallabies, 55 minutes gone, have reclaimed the lead onto the field. Here comes Ringrose. Ringrose is onto the field for Ireland. For some reason, my team sheets don't go up to 23. Oh, there we go. Gary Ringrose. When's Harry Potter coming on? When's Harry Potter coming on? That's what I want to know. Ireland with the restart. Kiki Latua. What are you drinking, mate? I'm not allowed to say on stream. To be honest, not allowed to say. Because I don't have any brand deal or anything with the beer that I'm drinking. I'm allowed to say it's a beer. I can't say which one. Injury timeout here for Panga Ramosa. And he'll be leaving the field, I dare say. Yes, indeed. Off he goes. And Pollard, Billy Pollard will come on. Slaps himself across the face 2 times. Because that'll do a lot. And Ronan Kelleher getting ready to throw into the line out here. Ireland with the throw just outside their own, just outside the Wallabies 22. They go to the front and secure the ball. Henshaw in midfield. Sets up the ruck. Launching an attack out to the left here. Hansen onto Keenan. Keeps the ball alive for Lowe. Lowe tries to fend away but can't. Well defended. Prendergast in midfield. Ireland still in possession. Driving defense from the Wallabies. Can't turn over the ball. Gibson Park to Ringrose, who's just come on the field trying to catch some napping defenders around the ruck. Lowe now tries to bump away from Kellaway. Kellaway has been all over him tonight. This has potentially been one of James Lowe's worst games, and I do put that down to the defensive efforts of Andrew Kellaway, to be perfectly honest. Ringrose again. Out to Hansen. Hansen to Prendergast. Prendergast is caught. A little too upright there. Wilson tries to drive over the top, but Ireland do well to retain possession here. 16 points to 15. Renshaw fires the pass across to Lowe. Cuts back in field. Not a lot of meters being made here. But importantly for Ireland, they're still in possession. Kelleher sets it up in midfield. Back to Prendergast for the crossfield kick. Hits his target again, Prendergast. Not a lot of meters gained off it. A high-risk, low-reward play there, as it turns out. Prendergast out the back to Hansen. Hansen now onto Williams in midfield. Well defended. Down this near edge, Ireland. Gone through many phases. Spilt out the back now from Keenan. And it's loose out the back. Australia get a foot to it. And it's taken by Doris Day. Going back, doing the clean-up work. And Ireland have lost about 30 metres here. And Prendergast says, I'll just hoof this back upfield. And it's over the top of Tom Wright. Wright's got it now on the bounce. Runs it outside the 22. Links up with Lolosio. Lolosio, crossfield kick. Looking for Jorgensen, who spills it, and the execution just not correct there. This is what I was talking about. Kicks in general play are not Lolasio's forte. And again, he's just overcooked it there. But credit to him for trying, I suppose. Credit to him for trying. You don't want to take that away from a young player. You don't want to scare them into playing within themselves. He saw an opportunity, and if he executes correctly, Jorgensen's away. A potential game-changing moment, right? So you don't want to discourage a young player from doing that, but the execution was just lacking there. I think on that particular occasion, Ed Vogler said could be Jorgensen not quick enough or jump high enough to catch the ball. I think on that occasion, it was just overcooked. Personally. And the only reason I say that as Ireland secure this line-out ball, but it is very scrappy. Ireland are still not as clinical as we expect them to be. So the only reason I say that, Ed, is just because of his other kicks. His other kicks in place kicking, he's fine. Lolasio, absolutely fine. Place kicking, just his kicks in general play. The kick up the middle of the field is a nothing kick from Prendergast, and the mark is claimed by Tom Wright. I just don't rate Lolasio as a general play kicker. He clearly overcooked that one. But anyway, it was a little thing. He tried something, it didn't work out. Credit to him for trying. As here's a pressure kick here. Lolasio takes the high ball, and he claims the mark. Well, was he inside the 22? Yes, says the referee, and that's all that really matters. The crowd has erupted into a chorus of boos once more. This will be a very interesting replay, and he is outside the 22. Well, you can't claim a mark from outside the 22. And, yeah, well, just add that to the list of really bizarre calls tonight. "60 minutes gone. Wallabies leading by 1. Ireland throw to the middle. Secure the ball. Prendergast to Doris Day. Doris Day gets away from Valentini. He's on halfway, but Australia in over the top of the ball. Who was that? Harry Wilson? Or Fraser McWright take a bow. A penalty on halfway, right in front of the posts. Do they take the 3 here? It's a little bit far out. Will Lolasio have the range? He's calling for the kicking tee. He wants it. Oh, that's confidence. Confidence from the young fella. He wants that kicking tee. "61 minutes gone. Wallabies looking to extend the lead to 4. Right out in front. 47 meters on the distance here. Lolasio, does he have the range? I would have thought this has to be right on his absolute limit, you would think. Unless I'm mistaking Lolasio for somebody else, this would be right on the brink. Oh, he had room to spare. What am I talking about? He's put it right down the middle with 10 meters to spare. Oh, he's got a 57 to 60 meter kicking range. Wallabies lead 19 points to 15. What a strike from Lolasio. Prendergast gets this back underway. Valentini is under it. Not the bloke I would be kicking off to be perfectly honest. Through the hands now. Wilson in midfield. 19-15, Australia lead. McDermott back to Lolosio. Doesn't find his touch. Prendergast takes it on the full, runs it back. No support. Well, he's thrown it to nobody. And Porter picks it up. But again, loose, scrappy ball from Ireland. They've gone off the rails a little bit as the pressure sets in. Renshaw. On to Henderson. Back the other way now, Ireland. Henshaw again. Grubber kick through from Keenan. And Tate McDermott's back there. McDermott tries to put on some fancy footwork to get away from Lowe, but James Lowe stays with him. They're 10 metres out from their own line, though. The Wallabies need to set up a clearance here. McDermott now will surely go the box kick. He does indeed. Well, a lot of height, not a lot of distance. And a line-out throw for Ireland. Just outside the 22, they can go back on the attack. "64 minutes gone." Well, this has raced by, hasn't it? This second half has raced by. And we might be getting that blockbuster finish that I wanted. What a way to end the season. Ireland throw to the line out, and it's scrappy. And Australia come away with it. Execution again. It's been the story of the night. Numbers to the left now for the Wallabies. If they put it through the hands, but Ikitau goes on his own. Lack of vision there from Ikitau. Execution letting Ireland down again. Lolosio puts it high, not looking for distance. It's going to land on halfway. Lost forward by Kellaway. And Hugo Keenan puts it straight up the middle. Sits up for Lolosio. Inside the 22. Slightly skews it off the side of the boot. But he finds touch up towards halfway. He's not very happy with that kick. And understandably so. The amount of time that he had. "19-15, the Wallabies lead. 65.5 minutes gone. Gibson Park is off. Casey's coming on. Some fresh legs injected into the squad here. Kelleher throws to the front. Stolen by the Wallabies. They've disrupted line-out time again. And it's been knocked on. Ireland will get the scrum, but some big issues starting to creep in at line-out time. We saw this against the All Blacks as well. The line-out just fell to pieces towards the back end of the game. And Cian Healy will come onto the field. The coach has responded immediately. And the replacements have been made. "13 minutes remain. This one going down to the wire. You got to love it. This match going down to the 80th minute would be the perfect send-off for the year for Wasted World of Sports. Jason Callaway, ahoy mate. Ireland win the scrum. They break away immediately. Numbers to the right. The wraparound. Henshaw can't get away. Ikitau makes the tackle. Ringrose. It's not Ringrose, sorry. That's Jack Crowley running down the short side. That's Ringrose. Pops the pass up now for Omani. The fresh legs for Ireland making the difference. The kick over the top for Hansen. Nobody's back for the Wallabies. Somebody's down. And Hansen goes close to the touchline. Keeps it alive. The Wallabies under big pressure here. There's a player down in back play. I couldn't see who it was. Then the ball spills forward from the ruck and the Wallabies have it. Jorgensen will... Oh, he tries to hoof it upfield. but it's deflected into touch. And the Wallabies will have the line-out throw inside their own 22. Jorgensen couldn't clear it. Hectic. Absolutely hectic play. Somebody's down for the Wallabies. $12 left in this game. A pressure line-out throw incoming here for Billy Pollard. Little Billy. Ed Vogel says Wallabies try is where? Good question. Good question. Because they have not looked likely, have they? They have not looked likely in this second half. Need Tom Wright's speed. Injury stoppage here. Injury stoppage. Fraser McWright, I think it was, getting taped up. It's all good now. Big throw here from Billy Pollard. 22 out from their own try line here, the Wallabies. With 12 minutes to go, they need to control the territory here. A 4-point lead is not enough. Pollard throws to the back, secured by Frost. McDermott throws a loose pass. And Lolasio's on a hiding to nothing there with that clearance. Poor service from McDermott under the defensive pressure. And Ireland with a territorial gain here in the end. They'll still be on the attack. Gus McCarthy, big Gus. His first line out throw. Throws to the front. Secured by Ireland. It was far from straight. I would have thought it was a little skewed. They have it in midfield. Henshaw plants it back. Ireland back to the open side. And Hansen, they're getting the backs involved very heavily here. Henshaw, dummies, goes on his own. Ringrose pops it in for Omani. Big defense from the Wallabies in midfield. Valentini with a big hit. Hands on the ball here. That is surely a turn. Oh, a penalty advantage to Ireland. Well, now the kick in behind the line will go into touch. We'll come back for the penalty. And Ireland will want the 3 here to put this scoreboard pressure on. You would think. Oh, they might put this into the corner, actually. With 10 minutes remaining. This might go into the corner. Ah! Something in my eye. It's going to be an awkward last 10 minutes if I can't see. Well, the penalty is perfectly poised for a kick into the corner now. It was right out in front originally, so I thought take the 3 with 10 minutes still to go. But when it went further out wide there, that was perfectly poised for a kick into the corner. 5-meter line-out throw. Gus McCarthy needs to hit his target. Does so. Ireland set up the rolling maul. Here they come for the lead. It's perfectly set. It collapses. They manage to get another pot away, and they're held up over the line. The defense from the Wallabies. Kellaway is in underneath that ball, and it is not getting to ground. Kellaway, goal line defense again on point for the second time tonight. Ireland did get a try through Kellaway in the first half, but Kellaway was retreating at the time and they caught his weak shoulder. The goal line dropout, looking for as much distance as possible. Ireland taken on halfway. Doris Day with the hit up. And they're 40 metres out from the line here, Ireland. They've got to try again. Australia have defended valiantly on that occasion. Keenan changes direction, tries to duck under the defence. 71.5 minutes gone. Quick hands here from Ireland. Henshaw again driven backwards. Getting very heavily involved though, Henshaw. Little bit of space out to the right here for Ireland if they can get it out there quickly. Casey goes left though. They didn't have the numbers over there in attack, Ireland. Staying down the short side. Kick in behind the line from Crowley. It sits up for Tom Wright, and Tom Wright takes it into touch. He had no choice. He had no choice, Tom Wright. 8 minutes to go. A 5-metre line-out throw here for Ireland. This is going down to the wire. Another big throw here from Gus McCarthy. And, oh, what's happened here? The referee is talking to the TMO. Oh, dear. What could be happening? What could be going on? KP, ahoy, mate. Thank you very much for the kind words. A kick in behind the line. Well, Tom Wright, oh, they're looking to see who actually gets the line-out throw. Tom Wright has got a foot on touch as he takes it. And it is Ireland's line-out throw. Big throw here from McCarthy. Goes to the back, uncontested. Ireland have got the rolling maul set. Australia drive in illegally. They pull it down. Penalty advantage. Ireland stay set with the maul. They're over the line and they score. Ireland have scored the try from the rolling maul. Who's got the ball? Gus McCarthy. Nailed the throw into the line out. And he comes up with the try that puts Ireland ahead. Gus McCarthy, his second international try. And what a moment to bag one. They had the rolling maul set. Australia collapsed illegally once. Ireland managed to get the ball back and keep it off the ground to keep driving forward. A beautiful rolling maul try. Ireland take the lead with 7 minutes to go. Conversion attempt here from Jack Crowley. He should put this one over. Ireland back in front. $22 points to 19. 6 minutes remaining. Can the Wallabies hit back? Let's get this scoreboard updated, because it's crucial in these moments that scoreboard stays up to date. 6 minutes left. Ireland with the lead, 22 points to 19. Box kick clearance. Was it lost forward? Yes, it was. Knock on advantage. Tom Wright fires the pass off and it's intercepted. But we come back for the knock on. Knock on. Australia will have the scrum feed. Oh, here we go. Tane Edmund. Tane Edmund is on. Where's Harry Potter? They need to get Harry Potter out there to work some magic. Sorry. I do apologize, but that just writes itself, right? It writes itself so much that I should never even say it. There is, by the way, legitimately a player for the Wallabies, number 23. His name is legitimately Harry Potter. It's the most ridiculous thing. It's so stupid. 22 points to 19. 5 minutes remaining. Australia have the ball in midfield. McDermott sends it down the left-hand edge for Harry Wilson. Wilson goes to ground. Stain on the left. Hialeah crawls forward another couple of meters. McDermott wrestles that ball away. Gleeson. Back for Edmund. Oh, and lost by Tom Wright. Tom Wright has spilt the ball under no pressure at all. Blood is gushing out of his nose, by the way, into his mouth. But that's no excuse for the ball handling. Tom Wright here. That's a big mistake. Very costly error at a horrible time in the match. 4 minutes to play. That's a big, big error. Under 4 minutes remaining. Ireland lead this by 3. They have the scrum. The Wallabies need a big shove here. Ireland feed. Secure the ball. They weren't messing around. They got it in and out. Henshaw with the wraparound and the kick down from Crowley goes out on the full. The kick from Crowley is out on the full, and the Wallabies will have the line out on halfway. It's not over yet. 3 minutes to play. And Tane Edmund is down and out. Well, he's up on his feet now. Oh, hey, Ed, you know who Tane Edmund actually reminds me of a redheaded version of Tackleberry from Police Academy. He's got the Tackleberries about him. Well, he's gone in low into contact and he smacks his head on the ground as he repels away from that tackle, and he's off. He's off. He's only just come on. Oh, you've got to feel for him. You've got to feel so bad for him, honestly. He has just come onto the field and he has smashed his head into the turf and he's off for a HIA. That is his night done. Tackleberry from Police Academy. Keep your head high, mate. Eric Davison. Ahoy there, mate. Welcome along to the Wasted World of Sports. Thank you very much for the sub. Three minutes remain. Line out throw here on halfway. Billy Pollard. That is not straight at all. They get away with it there, the Wallabies. And intercepted by Ireland. Well, it's all gone to hell in a handbasket. Quick smart for the Wallabies. It's just fallen to pieces for them. And Ireland can control this from here, surely. Annabelle Cullen. Ahoy there. Thank you very much. Henshaw in midfield now. 2.5 minutes remaining. Wraparound play for Casey. Now for James Lowe. Lowe onto what the hell is Vanderfleer doing out there on the wing? You've always got to love it when a flanker gets out there on the wing. Ireland in midfield lose the ball. And Australia will get one more opportunity here with 2 minutes remaining. But they've got to go so much further upfield now. They will have the scrum down about 30 or 40 meters out from their own try line. And they've got to get it up the other end. Annabelle Cullen says Irish here. Our TV stopped working. And this has saved the match for us. Thank you for your service. Well, cheers, Annabelle. I'm a little bit torn about this game, actually, because me being born and raised in Australia, but also being half Irish, it's a, yeah. It's been an interesting game for me to call. Scrum down here for the Wallabies. This is their last chance. There's 1.5 minutes remaining. Big scrum. One shove either way. It collapses on this near side. And the referee thought about just letting the play on, but he says we better have a reset. And all this is doing is chewing time off the clock. Advantage Ireland here. Eric Davidson says both teams gone the full 80. It has been brilliant. It has honestly been a brilliant game to finish the season on. Wasted World of Sports, though, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Facebook. The action will continue through the off-season. I'll be starting a podcast-style show during the off-season where we'll be previewing the NRL and the Super Rugby action coming up for season 2025. McDermott feeds. Solid scrum. Ireland wheel. The ball is out. McDermott's been played out early there, surely. And a penalty to the Wallabies. It had to be called. Ireland overly enthusiastic there. Hands in the ruck. Lolosio with the touch finder on halfway. Inside the last minute. Would Australia be happy with a draw here? We've got to start thinking about questions like that. Would the Wallabies be happy with a draw? If they get a penalty here, do they have a crack? Uncontested throw into the middle. Lolosio feeds it on for Ikitau. Ikitau takes it up to halfway. Plants it back. McDermott's got it. Slow service, but they get it wide. Here's Tom Wright stepping back in field. They've held him up here. Tom Wright's been held off the ground. Does manage to get it to the turf now. On halfway. Alatoa. Hands in here from Ireland, trying to wrestle that ball away. Swalihi, could he be the difference maker? Well wrapped up by Doris Day. McDermott onto Frost. They're still inside their own half here, the Wallabies. And it's been knocked on, and that's the game. That's the match. It's been knocked on at the base of the ruck. And that is game, set, match. What a weak way for that to end. What a weak and unfortunate way for the game to end. But credit to Ireland. What a performance in the end. They have held on. The YouTube chat room is just FFS. A sea of FFS from the Wallaby supporters. Frustrated, I'm sure. What a way for the game to end, though. A knock-on at ruck time. A disappointing end. You would have loved to have seen the Wallabies march all the way down the other end and Ireland defend it and win a turnover, something like that. We didn't want to see. But ironically enough, the game ended exactly the way that it started, with a knock-on. 22 points to 19. Ireland have done just enough. Just enough. They were far from clinical. I would venture to say that they were quite disappointing, really. What's my man of the match? Ooh, good question. Geez, I think Prendergast was pretty immense. For the I am actually really impressed with Sam Prendergast, I've got to say. I'm really impressed with him. He looks like a tennis player. I can picture Prendergast standing across the court from Novak Djokovic. As I said earlier in the first half, he controls the game so well. They've got a good find there, have Ireland. Ed Vogel says, I did not torture myself and messed up your sleeping schedule for that type of error. But here I am. Thanks for the stream, Dan. No worries, Ed. And yeah, disappointed for the Wallabies. Disappointing for the Wallabies in the end to end that way as well. So yeah, Sam Prendergast, I think, man of the match for mine. Might be a little biased there, but can't really think of anybody else off the top of my head that really dominated the game. Ireland celebrate their 150th anniversary with a tough win. So close, yet so far for the Wallabies. 2 wins, 2 losses. Honestly, that's not half bad. I mean, Ireland, the disappointment for the Wallabies, I think, has to be that loss last weekend against Scotland. You would think. Overall, though, this autumn international series, 2 from 2, not really that bad. Not half bad. They'll be disappointed with the loss, obviously, against Scotland. But Ireland were always going to be tough. I mean, let's not forget, Ireland were #1 team in the world just a few weeks ago. They're just starting to click into gear. They're just starting to get themselves moving, that Northern Hemisphere season. So, yeah, it's no there's no shame in losing to Ireland at all. And they gave it a very solid effort. The Wallabies, some handling let them down in the second half. General execution let them down in the second half. I mean, I know we've talked about Lolasio's general play kicking. I just don't think is up to standard. I mean, compare it with what Prendergast did. And Sam Prendergast had that ball on a string, which created so many opportunities for Ireland, whereas Lolasio was overcooking it or undercooking it, as the case may be. He was undercooking his grubbers, overcooking his crossfield kicks. But anyway, I digress. It will be interesting to see who gets the man of the match. I think Prendergast, for me, gets the nod just because of how well he controlled things. I mean, they had 67% territorial advantage, they being Ireland. I mean, you don't get that sort of territorial advantage if your fly half is not on song. So I think we've got a nod to what Prendergast did. But it will be interesting to see who actually gets it. Well, Wasted World of Sports, it's been a huge, huge year. We have covered more games than we ever have before across all the different codes. And in 2025, I can tell you, whoa, here we go. Man of the match. Man of the match, I think might be happening here. Player of the match, Doris Day, the Irish captain. There you go. I would have given it to Sam Prendergast. But Doris Day is the official man of the match. Oh, by the way, I do apologize. His name's Kalen Doris. His name's Kalen Doris. I just say Doris Day because I like to have fun nicknames for players. Yes, for those just joining me, and perhaps just joining me for the first time ever, yeah, his name's not really Doris Day. Kalen Doris, the Irish captain, is the official man of the match. Yeah, so Wasted World of Sports, we've had such an exciting year. There were so many good moments. We'll actually be doing a stream. And I'll be inviting Michelle in, my sometimes co-host for the Rugby League. Michelle, we'll invite her in, and we're going to have like an end of season party, end of season send-off, a stream where we reminisce over everything that we've seen throughout 2024 and what we can expect in 2025, because in 2025, we're going to be doing more games than ever before here on the Wasted World of Sports. there will be more coverage of more action than we have ever done on the channel, because this is what I do full time now. For those who may not realize, I did share the information once on stream. I quit my job. This is my job now. My job is Wasted World of Sports. So there's going to be all kinds of new stuff coming in season 2025. But the action won't be stopping. I'll be doing a weekly podcast style show live. It'll be live podcast style show all throughout the off season. Once a weekend, we'll be covering all the signing news. We'll be previewing the squads for 2025, specifically in the NRL, but we'll also cover some rugby union action as well, of course, the Super Rugby. But primarily, it'll be NRL focused, the podcast show. So there's plenty of stuff coming up on the Wasted World of Sports for the off season. Now that it's all done. Ajax says the Wallabies show potential to be great again. Absolutely. I was just saying before, Ajax, mate, that 2 wins, 2 losses, they can't really be too disappointed with that, the Wallabies. They're going through a rebuild phase. A 50% win rate during a rebuild phase is not that terrible. A loss to Ireland at home is no shame at all. The loss to Scotland last week, there's no shame in losing to Scotland, per se, but I think they'll be very disappointed with their performance that weekend. But overall, I think it's a pass mark for the Wallabies in this autumn tour. They're showing good signs, and they've got a foundation there to build on. And it's been a long while since we've been able to say that about a Wallaby squad, that they've actually got now a true foundation to build off of. And I think there's some positive signs for the future. I mean, I love here on the Wasted World of Sports covering the action. I love being part of history-making moments. When Fiji beat the Wallabies in the World Cup and we were covering here live, it was just such a moment to be part of. When the Panthers came back from the dead last season against the Broncos in the grand final, the biggest comeback in NRL grand final history. It was such a great moment to be part of and to cover live. Well, I can tell you one huge moment, and I say this as an All Black supporter. The All Blacks have held the Bledisloe Cup for so long now. The last time the Wallabies held the Bledisloe Cup, John Howard was the Prime Minister of Australia. So long ago. Even as an All Black supporter, through and through, I think the next logical step, the next moment of history to be part of here on the Wasted World of Sports channel is for that Bledisloe Cup to finally change hands and go back to Australia. I mean, I wouldn't even be disappointed, in all honesty. $22 points to 19, though Ireland have got the job done here against the Wallabies. Thank you very much, Wasted World of Sports. Wherever you're joining us from, Wasted World of Sports are live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Facebook. I thank you very much for your company. Keep an eye on the channels, because our season is not done, as I said. The rugby might be done for the year, but we are not done. Podcast-style show coming up every weekend, once a week during the off-season, and then we're straight back into things for 2025. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being part of the biggest year of the channel so far. Obviously, we couldn't do any of it without you. 2 sevens, it's on now. Oh, I appreciate that, mate, but it's 3:20 in the morning, and I probably do need to head off. But thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you who have been part of, as I said, the biggest year for the channel, the biggest year for Wasted World of Sports, the brand, across all our social media platforms that we've ever had. And yes, obviously, we couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, keep an eye on the posts. We'll be back for the off season. We'll still be going. We'll even do. Yeah, we've got some stuff coming up anyway. Thank you so much once more. Cheers. And if I don't see you in the off season, catch you in the new year. But I'm sure that I'll see. I'm sure that most of you, I would say, will swing by for the podcast style shows at some point. All right. Thank you so much. I am trying to find the right screens here so that I can end. Cheers. Catch you soon. Island, too good. Too good tonight.